All right, it's Friday, and I'm thinking about starting a new Friday series. Like every Friday, include a little segment every Friday. I'm thinking of calling it What the Fudge?
Oh, fudge.
Friday. What the Fudge Friday? So here's the first one. So I live in Los Angeles, or like right outside of Los Angeles. And this happened earlier this week. Check this out. This happened on Monday this week, I think. LA Sheriff's Department in mourning after 4 current former employees died by that word in 24-hour span. And they had the gall when the police chief or whoever it was reported it. He said it was that they were unrelated. And one thing you don't know is that like the locations, even though Los Angeles kind of spread out over a big area, the location of at least 3 of them were like pretty much in the same city within Los Angeles, which is my city. And so this guy right here, here's the guy. I think this is the police chief. He's saying that they were totally unrelated. And I don't have the stats on me, but I was reading somewhere that that's like the odds of that happening in one department, let alone in like one city of sheriffs in a 24-hour period. It's there's something fishy going on here. So that's kind of weird. That's kind of a what the fudge. So anyway, if you know what's going on there, let me know. Or if you have any ideas, put them in the comments. I mean, that's just, there's something up there. I mean, those aren't unrelated. 4 in the same like city. Come on. Anyway, so that's it. That's our first episode of What the Fudge Friday. And, you know, depending on how it goes, that may be the only one. We'll see. So anyway, today's video is called The Amazing Melting, Deflating, Quicksand, Sinking Trade. And basically what it is just taking a look at these money glitch trades and what happens to them at the end of the trade. So these money glitch trades are great trades, and they look phenomenal, and they look great when we put them on. And even through the first couple days, they look good. But something that you need to be aware of is the sag that happens in the middle. A lot of times the way these are constructed, if there's too wide of a sag in the middle of the risk graph, it can cause issues. And it usually happens towards the end of the week, like Thursday, Friday. The structure starts to sag in those sag areas lower and lower and lower. And by sometimes by late Thursday or Friday morning, and definitely by Friday afternoon, they can cause some real issues if you're trading in the area where that sag is. So the key with these is to just be aware of that and try to structure your trades and manage them, adjust them so that you don't wind up in that sag area on Friday. Anyway, let's look at the trading for today. So today was Friday. The week closed out. Yesterday's video, I showed you the trade that I closed out, the money glitch trade for the week. And if you remember, or if you go back and watch it, I've been waiting all week for the SPX to come down. And look at this relentless move. It just totally came up. So my position, my money glitch position was kind of like right in the spot where I didn't want it. Pretty much in the worst spot possible. And right in that zone where the sag starts to happen. And so I waited all week trying to fight it off. And I did fight it off. I making some adjustments and tweaks to it. And finally, yesterday, we get this down move that I've been waiting for. But it was after I had already decided to take the thing off. So I took it off, and I made $500 on it. So it wasn't like a disaster. It wasn't as much as I was expecting or much as I usually make on them. But given this kind of a move, I feel grateful for having it out at $500. But then check this out. The next day, just a huge old move up today. So I don't know what's going on here. Maybe this is the start of the Santa Claus rally. Maybe they're starting early, or maybe it's just filling up this gap right here. They say gaps always fill, and there it filled. Anyway, so I don't have any trades on now. We did get out of the trade for the week for a profit, so that's good. But one thing I wanted to do today was just kind of look at the graph of the money glitch trade, like at the last minute on Friday, so I can show you the problem area in that trade. So let's find it here. Okay, so here's one of them, and you can see how on the outer edges, what we see is what we get on these trades on the outer edges. But the middle here, you can just see that just totally collapsed. And had we held it all the way through and done nothing, we would sit on a loss. So the takeaway and the lesson here is with these trades, we always need to be well aware of that hump area. If that hump is wide enough, you need to be right on top of it if the underlying is moving towards it. That's the last place you want to be, especially as the week ends. The structure holds up pretty well all through the week, even into Thursday, and sometimes sometimes even into Friday morning. But at some point, that section there where those humps are, they just totally collapse. And there's a way to combat that and fix it, manage your way through it. And if you look back over this last week's trade, you can see how that's done. This last week was a good example of how the trade wound up in the one spot we didn't want to wind up, which is right under those humps, and just how I managed that and fought it all week and adjusted around it and wound up with a profit. So that's one example. Let me see if I can find one more. Okay, so here's another one you can see. And this is at expiration today. So this one you can see again on the outer edges, these numbers hold up. They what you see is what you get. So this, had it taken off, had it landed anywhere from this point up, we would have brought in 12,553. If it would have landed anywhere from this spot down, we would have had 5,000. But you see on the last day, Friday, this thing just kind of collapses into this canyon of death. And again, if you look at the videos from this last week, you can see how the structure is solid, but it's beginning to sag. It starts to sag around like Tuesday and Wednesday a little bit, but still, it's a good looking graph. And then the days progress. Thursday, if the sag is wide enough, it gets lower and lower. And it depends on the options that are used and the distance between them, the spread, but sometimes it'll hit the zero line or just dip below it. But you can see if we had been in this area here and right where it ended trading at right here, we'd have guys lost. It would not be fun. And even this morning, there could have been some times to get out of it. If you look at the trades from yesterday when I took it off right before the big move down. It just has to do with just keeping your eye on the trade and knowing where it's at and where you don't want it to be. And if it gets in that area here, in that saggy zone, you just need to start to kind of watch it very closely and manage it, adjust it and tweak it, and maybe even get out at a break even or profit. If it starts getting towards the end of the week and you have a break even or a profit, just take a scratch, on those ones. So anyway, I just wanted to look back at these. This is the hazard of this trade, of the money glitch trade. These come in like the last day, definitely the last, 3 to 4 hours on a Friday. You need to be out of these trades by then, unless, of course, you're way up here or way up here. And it's just this valley of death you need to watch out for. All right, so just real quick now, I'm just going to do a real quick tally up for the trades that we monitored this week. So yesterday we closed out our money glitch trade for the week, and I tallied that up in yesterday's video, but let's just do a complete tally up with the other trade that was closed today. So with the money glitch this week, the money glitch and the hitchhikers that were thrown on there, for the week we made a total of 1,440. And then today I closed out one of my bigger trades. It's a trade that I call the big boy. And let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so here's the trade I closed out today. It's the big boy trade. So these are bigger theta trades that are usually like around a 30-day. I expected them to come in with my profit like within 30 days, a little bit longer. They're not weekly. They're like 30 days, sometimes up to 60, but usually around 30. But sometimes, like with this case here, they come into profit super fast, which is nice. And so this trade was placed on November 7th, which is 3 days ago. What day was that? That was Tuesday. So this is a trade I placed on Tuesday. It's the big boy trade. And I was expecting to be in this for around 30 days. They're usually around 30 days trades. But occasionally there'll be like some sort of weird pricing thing or volatility thing where I'm able to get the profits out quicker. I have a $1,000 profit target on this. And right now you can see that this is open. It's showing $427, which if this was the price I had all day, I wouldn't have closed it. I would have left it on. But earlier in the day, the price was much better than that, and I was able to get out for $850. So that's just like a Tuesday, Wednesday. That's like a 3-day trade that usually takes a month, 30 days or so. And I was able to grab that profit super fast, like in just 3 days. So I took it off today, and then I'll look to just re-enter a new one on Monday. So let's add this $850 into our tally for the week. So we had $1,440 with the money glitch trade, and then we'll add this one, $850. So $2,290, $2,290 for the week. And like my Uncle Ed used to say, I'll effing take it. All right, that's it for today. Be on the lookout for this weekend. I'm going to put out a video on a cool earnings play that I did this last week and kind of explain the nuts and bolts of it. So keep your eye out for that. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button below and you'll be alerted when it comes out. And you can also join me on my website. I'll include a link to my website in the description below. Just click on that. You can join me over there. And that's it for today. We'll see you next time.